Hi everyone, this is my evidence number one. I'm Lourdes and I'm from English 7. Okay, and this is my answer for the question number one. In my opinion, Dr. Cuddy feel betrayed or disappointed because Dr. House did not respect the hierarchy of the hospital, overlooking that she is the boss. But also because she knows that despite being her boyfriend, he's still lying to everyone, like in past episodes. Because although I do not know much from past episodes, I know that Dr. House is a person who knows how to do his job. And I know it is something incredible, and that the plot of the series has a lot to do with the way he does his job. But Dr. Cuddy had too much hope in him that obviously was not going to happen because she knew him before they were together, and a person does not change just because of that. And more if it's the way he knows he can do his job, and what matters most to him in the world is saving his patients and solving cases also. And every time Dr. House tells a lie to Dr. Cuddy, for her it's like a cock and bull story, and it bothers her that he believes that she is so naive as to believe his lies, knowing that later she will discover the truth. Putting myself in Dr. Cuddy's place, I would never have agreed to start a relationship with him, knowing what dating him entails, and I imagine that before starting the relationship, he had already overlooked her many times before. So it is something that you must take in account even if you love the person. There shouldn't like there shouldn't be much hope that she or he will change for you, and even less if it's, as in this case, something that Dr. House loves more than Dr. Cuddy. That is his work. Or thinking about another way, maybe Dr. Cuddy was looking for a tactic to get Dr. House will stop lying because they don't really look like so in love with each other, and seeing that her plan is not going very well, she despairs at him and the things he does without her permission, believing that it would be different being her boyfriend. I couldn't say if it's correct or not, because at the end of the day, Dr. Cuddy is surprised because he does so many things to find a solution, even if it's overlooking her. Okay, and this is my answer for the question number two. And I think that whether there are rules or not, Dr. House wouldn't follow them. As I mentioned it earlier, the most important thing for him is to save lives, solve cases, and reveal the truth, doing everything to find a solution, right? So I think it frustrates him a lot when people strictly adhere to the hospital rules, especially when it results in people dying. And not following the rules and searching for answers until the very end is part of his character. He is very streetwise for lying. For example, in the episode we watched where the girl was thought to have smallpox, or at least that's what they believe until they realize it wasn't, and then her father got infected. This led to the complete closure of the hospital, with nobody allowed in or out, and they thought the disease was hazardous enough to lead to this. However, Dr. House entered the room where the patient was kept, disregarded the protocols, and was provided with a protective suit. Despite the man's death, he examined him to see if there were any signs of the disease, and it was then that Dr. Masters informed him that it wasn't smallpox, but something she had been investigating. And as it should have left certain marks which Dr. House was looking for, he realized that he couldn't do his examination with the gloves on the protective suit. So he removed them and proceeded with the examination. Indeed, he found that the disease wasn't contagious, allowing the hospital staff to leave. Smallpox was to have had a tremendous effect on the hospital, if that had been the illness of the girl and her father. By not following the rules and working with Dr. Masters, they were able to identify that the disease wasn't contagious and had a cure. So I believe this is something that causes many conflicts between um, Dr. House and Dr. Cuddy, as she doesn't approve of it at all. And as I explained in the first part, right? Okay, and this is my answer for the third question. And I feel that not at that point, but I feel Dr. Cuddy took it so personally that it even bothered her to see Dr. House passing through the hallways or whatever. And as I've said, I feel there is no love between the two of them, and she had a plan with him. And it was that he would no longer lie to her. And I feel she calmed down or took it seriously when he was about to die, and he simply believed that everything was fine and forgiven by her, but it was quite the opposite. She continued like that, and in reality, I think it's like a mental game where she wants to do it like this so that he realizes what he's losing or things like that. But knowing how he is, I wouldn't try so hard to making him stop lying. I would just let him keep doing it because it is not something new, and it is something that no matter how much people tell him, he will never stop doing. I only saw one episode, but I know that it is what characterizes this character. In addition, if Dr. Curry agreed to have a relationship, it's illogical. Like, if you love someone, you forgive them, especially if they are on the verge of death. Furthermore, throughout the entire episode, being in a relationship, neither of them said, like, I love you at any point. To me, it's not a very believable relationship, or at any rate, they would simply be much better off apart, each on their own. And she wouldn't have to worry about all the lies he tells to her, and he wouldn't have anyone caring about how much he lies. Both of them should be more mindful when choosing their couples. So it's my opinion for that question. Okay, and this is my answer for the fourth question. I don't think so. Most people don't tell the whole truth, even in our day to day lives. For example, when telling a story, we often exaggerate to make ourselves look better, and I believe in even less in a hospital, as they say. There are like white lies that help many people achieve their goals. However, in Dr. House's case, instead of white lies, he used logical lies. Everyone believed what he said because they knew his intellect was superior to theirs, or at least they considered themselves inferior to him. As for Dr. Masters, I think she has a lot of potential, but Dr. House is not it's like it's not enough for him to have this potential. She also needs to know how to keep secrets and needs good confidentiality skills and the ability to tell lies, especially within a hospital where the primary objective is to save lives, and rather than just saying it can be done. And in order to regard, I think Dr. House has a good mindset because there are many hospitals where they only have one option. They say it can be done or that it's something that won't be cured. And that is the end of it. But he gets the tools, the knowledge, and does everything in his power to achieve it. Furthermore, I investigate about Dr. House, and it says that before began working at the hospital, he had already developed his reputation for his unconventional approach. And not to say that the hospital where they work appears to be of a high rank and of a good social class, it's not just any hospital, right? It doesn't seem very affordable for everyone. The hospital is of good quality where doctors can achieve what they set out to do. And literally, if a patient was on the verge of death, he does everything possible to keep the patient alive. Or if he doesn't succeed, at least he knows the causes and all that entails. Okay? And Dr. House is a very intelligent person who just wants the other doctors to be like him, but they don't know very well how to achieve it. And that is to say that Dr. House has used logical lies to achieve his medical goals. Okay, and that's all for today. Thanks for watching and hope you like it. Bye.